Let's go ahead and before we jump into the question and answer session, let's go ahead and talk about the news of today. We're recording this on Wednesday, June 4th. And that's the Beanie Bishop stuff. Boy, Beanie Bishop has Pitt fans in a tizzy, and has caused another, West Virginia fans versus Pitt fans spat back and forth, whatever you want to call it, on Twitter /X. It's been I've been traveling a lot, so I haven't had a chance to read all the comments, but before I left today, I was able to actually participate in a little bit myself with my respected friend JJ Kitchen, who's a Pitt fan. He and we respect each other and like each other, but we're also fans of rival teams, so we do poke each other once in a while. But it's all in fun. But yeah, it's been definitely a back and forth. But let's go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and do a screen share. It's easier for us to talk about this if we can show everybody what we're talking about. People who may not have Instagram or X and social media may not know what the heck we're talking about. So let's go ahead and see if we can enlarge this here, and then we'll play it and talk about it. Here's Beanie Bishop walking in. Keep in mind, he plays for the Pittsburgh Steelers, who shares a locker room with Pitt. Yeah. He wipes his feet on the logo and has the poop emoji over the name Pittsburgh on University of Pittsburgh.
Was it the emoji that pushed him over the top, Couz?
Nah, I don't believe it was the emoji. I don't know. They don't like that either. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it was the whole wiping the feet thing. It's
yeah, and as you mentioned, for context here, Couz, the Steelers and Pitt share the same practice facility,
yes.
and this was in the practice facility, and so obviously some part of that, not just Steelers, but obviously Pitt, and even though he was in Morgantown for just 1 year, Beanie definitely showed which side of the aisle he was on with that video.
For sure. They also interviewed Beanie today after practice.
Love this. Oh, I love this.
And I'm going to go ahead and play the interview.
People's not going to like me based off what school I went to, and that's fine. You know what I mean? It's part of the rivalry. We don't like them guys; they don't like us. It was fun. You know what I mean? Obviously, we like I told y'all yesterday. Like I don't really have no liking for those guys over there. So that's just part of it. They always talk, especially like after they beat us last year. They had a lot to say, and things got quiet as the season went on. But that was pretty much it. I kind of looked at it as Beanie Bishop fan club. You don't like those guys. I mean, it's pretty that's self-explanatory. Obviously, if you go and ask them, they probably hate me. And do I care? No, not really. That's just part of it. Like if you go ask any fan in Baltimore, what do they think about the Steelers? They hate us. So it is what it is. It's just part of the rivalry. Obviously.
That is in response to, I guess Beanie Bishop didn't apologize for stoking some bad feelings from his backyard brawl rivals. There are Pitt players, former players around the facilities, obviously. He doesn't care. Jonathan, Pitt fans think that he went too far and was disrespectful. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, listen, Couz, if you can't, he was a Mountaineer first, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think it should be a surprise that his allegiance is there. Too far, I guess I don't understand that argument. I'd kind of mentioned today on social media on X that if the roles were reversed, not only would I be okay with it, I'd expect it. I mean, I don't think it's a huge deal for me. Maybe obviously that Pitt fans feel the opposite. But I like what Beanie did right there in that interview, though. One, he didn't apologize for what he did. But number two, he even took it a step further and talked about rivalries in general, right? Mm-hmm. Baltimore fans don't like us. And so he tied it into the totality of us versus them, not just Pitt, West Virginia, right? Of course, the backyard brawl means a little bit more. To me, I think it was personally, I think it was Pitt fans really just sored, looking for a reason to be upset at West Virginia. And I think if we're being honest, I think while I would be okay with it, I don't actually know how you feel. We haven't even discussed this off air, but I would say if roles were reversed, maybe some West Virginia fans would be upset about it. I got to tell you though, my overwhelming thought here is, man, this is good for football. It's good for college. It's good for rivalries. You look at the Ohio State Michigan rivalry and kind of getting on the field. And I know there's some different things there, but some similarities between the two. But if for no other reason, man, it says to me, if you don't understand how serious the backyard brawl is, just take a look at this.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people do know, but some people out of our region, out of the states, don't realize how serious it is. Now you do.
Yeah. Yeah. And it became topic of conversation on a radio show up there today, one of the popular radio shows in Pittsburgh. Yeah. Obviously the Pittsburgh fan I think he's a former player that's co-host of that show, was not happy about it. The other co-host is a West Virginia fan. So he was like, it ain't a big deal. It's a rivalry. And it got pretty heated. Actually, the guy behind the camera was getting mad, and it was crazy. I saw JJ Kitchen. He did a live stream about it, talking about how disrespectful it was and all this. That led into a whole conversation about how West Virginia fans are and how they treat Pitt fans at games and all this. But
and I guess Couz, a genuine question for me is what went too far? What crossed the line?
They think wiping the feet. I think their problem, and I guess it's hard for me to understand his argument because I'm not in their situation, but they feel like because Pitt and Pittsburgh share a facility and a locker room, Pitt and the Steelers, that he should be more respectful of the facility and all that. But like I said in some of the comments, it's not like he vandalized anything. He literally wiped his feet on a rug. It didn't even get it muddy that I could tell. It was just, to me, it was innocent.
Well, first off, he's practicing indoors. Let's note this first off. So he's not dirty. He's not doing anything to the end. I'm assuming that's an end zone area right there.
I'm assuming. Yeah, I don't know.
He didn't deface anything. Nothing was spray painted with an emoji or I think, if the argument is, you should respect the Pittsburgh practice facility, or is the argument, once you get drafted and you move on, you probably need to just kind of let it go.
And some of them said that he needs to act like a professional, not a college student.
Yeah. I guess, again, maybe because I'm on this side of it, right? Yeah. I don't have a big issue with it. And I truly feel deep down, Couz, that if the roles were reversed, not only would I be okay with it, I would expect it.
Yeah. Honestly, I probably wouldn't be, but only because it's a rivalry, and I would be passionately defending the WV logo.
Sure.
Just like they are. Now, I don't think I would be. Some of them have went way too far, talking about how they showed a picture of Pat White being wheeled out on a stretcher and just stupid stuff like that. And making comments about it, just, and they made it, they were like, well, Zach Frazier didn't do it. Well, Zach Frazier's not that person. They're two totally different personalities. Zach Frazier's a mild-mannered, quiet, introverted guy. At least in the public eye, he is. He's not out. And Beanie Bishop's defensive backs are different, man. They have a different mentality, a different mindset. And Beanie, he just started a podcast. Now, was there some PR here? Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
Pretty smart. Some of them have even been attacking him, saying he's probably going to get cut from the team because he's not any good anyway. And maybe that's true. I'm not a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, so I don't follow that. But at the end of the day, it's a rivalry. And the clip I played, this wasn't included in it, but he even talked about it in that interview about how he thinks the game needs to be played on rivalry week and not the third week of the season.
Yeah, good point.
You know, and about how he loves rivalries in general. And I think I think he's just a football fan, right?
Yeah.
And he loves West Virginia. He loved his time at West Virginia, and he hates Pitt because of that time at West Virginia. And combine all of that, I think whether he's at Pittsburgh or California, if he walks across the Pitt logo, he was probably going to do that.
Yeah. If nothing else, it made for a fun Tuesday morning and or Wednesday morning. My days. It's been a long week. But and also, if we needed any more fuel to the fire for the backyard brawl this season,
he did. That is a downside. He just gave them more bulletin board material
with Rich Rod returning, the game been in Morgantown, and now Beanie Bishop.
Yeah,
get your tickets.
If he's going to be at the game, he better be on the sideline with the team, and he better have a helmet on.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. It's in Morgantown this year, so he'll be okay. Yeah, he'll be fine.
Yeah, but I just think it was all in good fun, and I think it just speaks to college football in general and just how cool it is. And I think it speaks to the level of seriousness that the backyard brawl is.
Yeah, I love it. The fact it's bringing attention to that game on a national level.
Yep.
I mean, these are national. This is getting a lot of attention on social media.
Oh yeah.